Hello everyone. This is part 2 of my palette collection. These are all of my single shadows and then eyeshadow palettes that I've depotted and have put into Z palettes. And then these ones over here are my blushes. So I guess we'll start with these ones. This one is my neutral colors. These ones are like my soft pink ones. These are my Tarte ones. These came in one of those holiday round palettes that they do every year. These ones came from a Lorac Pirates of the Caribbean palette that I've depotted. These ones are Coastal Scents blushes, and they're actually really good quality. These ones up here, some of these I think were in that Lorac palette. This one was one that I depotted and repressed from, I think it was a BH Cosmetics highlight palette. And then these ones are just some more highlighters. So, and this one is Coastal Scents. So the quality on these is really nice. I keep these highlighters in with these blushes so that if I do ever pull out this blush palette, I'll have some highlighters to go with it. And then the next one, these are like my more pops of color. These ones were from a pure palette that I got from Haute Look. These ones are definitely a little dark, but if I'm, use a light hand, I can use those. These are more of those Tarte ones. This one came from a BoxyCharm. This is by Pretty Vulgar. So this one is very bright. It's definitely a little too dark for my skin tone, but like with these ones, if I use a really light hand, then I can get away with them. And then these ones are some more Coastal Scents ones. And this one came from a BoxyCharm, and this one is like my perfect orange. It's not too dark, it's not too light. It's a really beautiful blush, and I really enjoyed that one. So these two are my palettes. I don't reach for my blush palettes that often, but occasionally I do. So these ones are my custom neutral palettes that I've made. Both of these were made to be interchangeable. I can really grab either one and I can get complete looks from. So this one has a bunch of Tarte ones that I've depotted from that palette that they had, I think like 2 years ago. It was limited edition. It was the one that came in like the tan and brown, almost like zebra looking print. And had a bunch of shadows, and then it had some bronzers and like skin, like highlighter colors, and I've depotted that. So these ones are the browns, really good quality. I really enjoy these. This black is really nice. These ones came from that Tarte palette. These are the bronzers, but I use these as, shadows. This one came from my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. These ones over here, I think this was from the Tarte one. This one came from my Naked palette that I bought last year and depotted. That was the gold color. This one came from one of my Kat Von D palettes. All of these up here came from different Kat Von D palettes that I've depotted. These colors right here are really beautiful. This like a nice pewter color. It's really, really beautiful. This one up here was from the Shade and Light palette. The one on the end was just from a different one. These ones down here were from the Glimmer palette, the Kat Von D Glimmer palette. So the Glimmer palette, I really love the formula, but every time you use it, you have to reach for mattes. So I would always reach for the Shade and Light palette. So eventually I just depotted them and put them into one palette with a bunch of other colors so that I could just mix and match and have a variety of shadows. This one right here I think was from maybe her Monarch palette, I'm not sure. But really love this palette. This is like my go-to neutral palette. And then this is my other go-to neutral palette. This one is a mix of Coastal Scents palette, Hot Pots. This one up here is Divina. I just started last year, I think around, like maybe it was Black Friday. I decided to purchase from her. Excellent quality. Like the pigmentation on these are insane. So a lot of these are, like I said, Coastal Scents Hot Pot. Coastal Scents has really good quality. They have sales several times a year where their hot pots will be 99 cents, and the quality is just really good. Some of these are Makeup Geek. Some of these are my Luxie shadows. This one right here, these two right here came from the Naked palette. I consider those more neutral, so I put them in here. This was an extra black that I had floating around, so I put that in here. So I could grab either one of these neutral palettes and be happy and be able to create any kind of neutral look. This Adept Cosmetics palette, these palettes are double-sided. These palettes I love, but these palettes get very, very heavy. So this is my main one that I'm going to show you last. These two I store with those other palettes that I told you about that I store separately, that I don't use as often. This one, although I really love, I keep it separate just because it gets too heavy. This one I'm going to show you in a bit. These are more like overflow colors, so that one I don't really need as much. But this one is like my go-to. And then these are my go-to. So these ones I store separately with the rest of them. This one is my colorful palette. Now these ones, I love all of these shadows. The only reason I keep them separate is because it's just too heavy. So this one is my Lorac Pro 2. I think Lorac shadows, the quality is really good. I just wasn't reaching for it as much as I wanted to. So I depotted it and put it with a bunch of other colors, hoping that I could use it more often by being able to, you know, mix it up with other shadows. So these ones are Coastal Scents, bunch of their different palettes that I've depotted. Not Coastal Scents, I'm sorry, ColourPop. ColourPop palettes are really nice because they pop right out. So you just pop them out and you can stick them in a Z palette or, you know, an Adept palette. Some of these are also BH Cosmetics from the Carly Bible, the bigger one that she had. I forget what that was called. So some of these are BH and some of them are Coastal Scents. ColourPop, I keep calling them Coastal Scents. This one came from a BH Cosmetics, one of their baked shadow palettes that I liked. I didn't like all the colors, so I ended up depotting the ones that I liked. Quality on these is really good. I really enjoy these. And then this side, these ones again are from that Carly Bible Deluxe palette. That's what it was called. Those are supposed to be highlighters, but I don't use those as highlighters. I use them more as eyeshadows. These ones are just some random Coastal Scents one. This one is a Makeup Geek, Mango Tango. These ones are all my Bad Habit palettes that I've depotted. Bad Habit has really beautiful quality, beautiful shadows. The quality is really nice. Look at all these beautiful, beautiful colors. A lot of these are dupes for other palettes, like the, what is her name? Natasha Denona. A few of these are dupes for those palettes. These mattes, they all had some casualty when I depotted them. But they still work. Quality is really nice. These ones right here, these are from Milani's, I think it's called Matte Obsession, something like that. Again, the quality is nice. It's really good for drugstore. You know, just basic matte colors. These ones right here were from that same BH Cosmetics, the baked shadow ones that I pulled out. These ones are just some random, I think they're probably from Bad Habit. So this is my more colorful single palette. Quality is really good. I really love this palette. This one is more like an overflow palette. Colors that I just have so many of, duplicates of everything. Like these ones over here. These are all pretty much duplicates of, you know, palettes that I have these colors 100 times over. These ones over here. This is the rest of my Naked palette. These are more colors that, like these are just basic brown colors. These darker ones are colors that I just don't use as often because I don't really like dark shimmer colors on my eyes. So I put them here. This one is my chocolate bar palette that honestly I was going to depot. I was going to declutter, but I decided instead to depot it and mix it in with other colors, hoping that I would be able to pull in some other colors and use it more often. But honestly, I still don't. So at one point, I will probably just get rid of those. These ones are just some highlighters from, I think, like a couple Tarte palettes that I had depotted. These are some more of my Kat Von D shadows from the Monarch palette and the Chrysalis palette. And then some of them might be from like the Shade and Light palette that I didn't need all the colors from. These ones are, again, Kat Von D. These are more skin tone colors. I don't need 100 of them. So like I said, these are kind of like my overflow ones. And I just keep them here in case I ever need them. So then this one is my main palette that I use all the time. This one is my colored palette. This one is my purples. I love purple, so purple pretty much has its own side. And then this side is my pinks, and then my greens, my golds, my greeny golds, and then some grays. And then just a row of neutrals just so that I have some neutrals to tie into all my colors. So a lot of these ones up here, a lot of these are my Luxie shadows. Her quality is insane. Her shimmer colors are just so beautiful. These are some more right here of the Divina ones that I picked up. Insane quality. Her shadows are beautiful. These ones, like, look at this color. Look how beautiful that is. This one right here is Makeup Geek. A lot of these ones right in here, these are all my Coastal Scents shadows. Some of them, like this one right here, I actually made myself. A couple years ago, I was really into pressing my own eyeshadows. I bought pigments from TKB Trading, and then I pressed a lot of my own shadows. Like this one right here, that one I pressed myself, and look how pretty that is. It's beautiful. Beautiful matte purples. These ones over here, so beautiful. These ones are more like going into my pinks. It's hard to see, the color, the lighting isn't the best, but these are going into my pinks. And then these are some more pinks. Most of these mattes are from Coastal Scents. Then I have my greens. Pretty much all of these greens are like Coastal Scents. Couple of these more like green gold ones. I don't know which ones, but they're from, I think this one is from Makeup Geek. That's another Divina shadow. Now we're getting into like my golds. Some of these, like these two right here, I pressed myself. Actually, all of these right here, I pressed myself. These are some more ColourPop ones. Coastal Scents ones, I'm sorry. This one is from Makeup Geek, and that one's really beautiful. It's like a really beautiful goldy green shifting color one. This one is Karma, and I love that one so much. And then I have just a row, like I said, of some grays and then just some neutrals to pull in. So these are all of my single shadows, or shadows that I've depotted and put into these palettes. The first video that had my full palette collection, I should have posted that one before this, so go check that one out. The next video I'm going to record is my full makeup collection, so keep an eye out for that one. And I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.